Greetings to everyone. I am Darshinthiran. My metric number is F22A0281. Today I am going to talk about the critical issue facing the meat industry, which is an essential component of the global food system. While meat production plays a key role in feeding the global population, it also faces several challenges that impact the environment, animal welfare, and public health. These issues span from the production of greenhouse gases to the health risks linked to meat consumption, pointing to need for more sustainable, ethical and health-conscious industry practice. Let's take a closer look at these challenges and explore how they can be addressed for a more sustainable future. First, let's discuss environmental impact, which is one of the most pressing concerns surrounding meat production. At the production level, both farming and processing of meat contributes significantly to environmental issues. Livestock farming is responsible for deforestation, the depletion of water resources, and the production of greenhouse gases. One of the major culprits is methane, a potent greenhouse gas emitted by livestock such as cattle. This contributes to climate change, making essential to find solutions. Additionally, the meat processing industry is highly energy and water intensive, which further strain our planet resources. The need to clear land for growing feed crops for animal leads to habitat loss and a reduction in biodiversity, making it double burden on the environment. To mitigate these environmental impacts, we need to focus on sustainable practice. This includes improving the efficiency of feed, reducing waste in the supply chain, and promoting plant-based alternatives to reduce dependence on livestock farming. By implementing this practice, we can reduce the carbon footprint of meat production and help conserve natural resources. Moving on to animal welfare, this is another critical issue that needs to be addressed within the meat industry. At the farming and slaughter levels, animal welfare remains a significant concern. Unfortunately, many factory farming operations prioritize productivity over the well-being of the animals. This can result in overcrowding, poor living conditions, and high level of stress for the animals. Additionally, the transportation of animal and inhuman slaughter practice further exacerbate these welfare concerns. Consumers are becoming more aware of these issues and are calling for change. The shift toward more ethical practice in meat production include promoting free-range farming, improving living conditions for farm animals, and enforcing stricter animal welfare regulation in slaughterhouses. These changes not only improve the life of the animal, but also contribute to more human and sustainable practice within the industry. Let's address the public health risk associated with meat consumption. At the processing and consumption level, meat presents several health risks. These include foodborne illness like E. coli and Salmonella, which can occur due to improper handling and processing of meat. Undercooking, cross-contamination, and unsanitary practice during meat processing exacerbate these health risks. Additionally, long-term effects of meat consumption, such as heart disease and cancer, are increasingly being linked to high intake of red and processed meats. The overuse of antibiotics in livestock farming also become a public health concern, as it can contribute to antibiotic resistance, making it harder to treat infection in humans. To address this risk, improving hygiene practice in meat processing plants, regulating antibiotic use, and encouraging balanced diets that limit excessive meat consumption are essential steps. This will not only reduce health risks but also promote a more balanced and sustainable approach to meat consumption.
The meat industry faces profound ethical and cultural debates, spanning religion, labor rights, and disruptive technologies like lab grown meat. These issues challenge us to rethink sustainability, ethics, and global food systems. First, we must acknowledge the profound influence of religion and culture on meat consumption. In Hinduism, the cow is considered sacred, leading to a strict bans on beef in countries like India. Conversely, Islamic and Jewish dietary laws prohibit pork and mandate specific slaughter practices, such as halal and kosher methods. These beliefs are not merely personal choices, they shape global trade policies and market dynamics. In recent years, veganism has emerged as a powerful counter movement to traditional meat consumption. Driven by concerns for animal welfare, environmental sustainability, and personal health, plant based diets have gained remarkable traction. The global plant based meat market has grown by over 200% in 5 years, with companies like Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods leading the charge. However, this shift has not been without controversy, as it challenges long standing agriculture tradition and sparked debates about the authenticity of alternative proteins. The meat industry relies heavily on labor intensive processes, often under conditions that raise serious ethical concerns. Slaughterhouse workers, many of whom are migrants, frequently endure hazardous environments, low wages, and physiological distress. Studies indicate that slaughterhouse employees are 3 times more likely to suffer severe injuries compared to workers in other industries. These realities compel us to consider not only the welfare of animals but also the dignity of human labor. One of the most groundbreaking and contentious developments in the meat industry is lab grown meat. Produced from animal cells without slaughter, this innovation promises to reduce animal suffering and environmental harm. However, it also raises profound questions. For example, can lab grown meat considered halal or kosher? How do Hindu communities reconcile this technology with their reverence for cows? These debates highlight the tension between scientific progress and cultural preservation. The solution for the issue 1, to mitigate the meat industry's environmental footprint, innovative and scalable solutions are essential. First, adopting regenerative grazing techniques, such as rotational grazing, allows pastures to recover, reducing soil degradation and sequestering carbon. Studies show this can increase soil health by up to 30% while maintaining productivity. Second is integrating methane reducing feeds like seaweed supplements have proven effective. Research from UC Davis demonstrates a 80% reduction in cattle methane emissions with minimal dietary adjustments. Finally, converting manure into biogas through anaerobic digestion addresses waste pollution while generating renewable energy. Farms in Germany and Denmark already offset up to 40% of their energy needs this way. The solution for the issue 2, which is animal welfare. Beyond environmental concerns, the ethical treatment of animals represents both a moral obligation and a growing consumer demand. Today, we examine 3 transformative approaches to elevate welfare standards. First, policy interventions are proving effective. The European Union's mandate for cage-free egg production by 2027 demonstrates how legislation can drive industry-wide change. Similar measures could eliminate extreme confinement practices globally, aligning production with evolving ethical standards. Second, advanced slaughter techniques like controlled atmosphere stunning induce unconsciousness before processing, eliminating pain and distress. When combined with AI monitoring systems, we can ensure consistent welfare compliance throughout production facilities. Finally, certification programs empower consumers to make ethical choices. Labels like Certified Humane and Global Animal Partnership verify higher welfare standards, with studies showing 60% of consumers willingly pay premium prices for such products.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nurfarahana binti Nasir and I'll be presenting about solution for issues 3, which is about public health risk. So there are 3 of the solutions, and the first one is strict hygiene and sanitation practices. We must implement good manufacturing practices or GMP and hazard analysis and critical control points, or known as HACCP, system to reduce contamination risk during processing. And then we must do a regular cleaning and disinfection of equipment and processing area. And this is to help preventing the spread of germs that can make people sick. So the number two is temperature control measures. So we need to maintain the cold chain from processing to retail to prevent the microbial growth. And then the second one is ensure proper cooking temperatures are labeled and communicated to consumers. So easy for the consumers to read the manual based on our suggestions, our directory. And then number three is traceability systems. This is a must as it is to track the meat from farm to fork, and then enabling fast recalls in case there is any contamination. So the tools that we can use is by using a barcodes or blockchain technology, or like for now, with a new technology that we developed, like we can use a QR code. Same goes to like the barcode. So now it's easy access for the consumers to track, and we can track it easily. Okay, for the next solution, for the issues number four, which is about ethical debates, there are three also. The first one is transparency in supply chain. So, what is the transparency? Is we provide the consumers with a clear labeling. So, for example, if the product has natural ingredients or something like that, we can state that it is organic, or maybe like non-GMO seed, or free range, halal, no antibiotics and things like that, to support the information ethical choices. So the customers will feel transparent with the ingredient. And then the second one is development of alternatives. So these can promote plant-based proteins, and then cultured meat and meat analog as ethical and sustainable options. And then number three is ethics, education, and policy. So integrate food ethics into public education and policy making to shape future generations' understanding of humane and sustainable practices. Okay, for the conclusion part, the meat industry is crucial in global food system. However, it faces significant challenges like spanning environmental degradation and then animal welfare concerns, public health risks, and ethical controversies. By addressing these issues, like demand a multi-pronged approach involving sustainable farming techniques, humane treatment of animals, improve hygiene and safety standards, and be transparent, ethical practices throughout the supply chain. So solutions such as plant-based alternatives, lab-grown meat, policy reforms, and consumer education can pave the way towards a more responsible and health-conscious food future. By integrating sustainability, ethics, and innovation, the industry can evolve to meet both human nutritional needs, and societal values, securing a healthier planet and population. So that's all from us. Thank you.